Hi, I'm Katherine North. I'm the founder and creator of Declare Dominion, where we help amazing, brilliant, smart, super tender, sensitive women make their way in the world. And I am married to Nick North, who happens to be transgender. So today I want to make a video for all of you partners out there. Whether your partner is a romantic partner, or it's a dear friend, or I guess it's different if it's someone that you work with, but this is for all of you support people out there who have someone you love tell you that they're trans or non-binary or in any way different than you originally thought that they were going to be, because I don't think that there are a lot of resources out there for us. So I'm going to just talk to you from my own personal experience. My experience is as a romantic partner. And of course, if we were talking about kids, this would be an entirely different conversation. I just want to be really clear. We are talking about adults. So one of the things that can happen when you are the partner of a transgender person is that your experience becomes eclipsed by the experience of your partner. And I think that that's okay. That's just what's going to happen because they're going through something very intense. And it can have extraordinary challenges and extraordinary gifts. But that doesn't mean that you are not going through your own experience, even though it's not as visible or public. You're still going to go through your own process. So I want to encourage you to give yourself time and space to do this. Most important of all, I want to encourage you partners out there to find your own support system that is different from your partners. They're going to need their own people to talk to, and you're going to need your own people to talk to. And there may be overlap, but it's really important that you each have a safe place apart from each other where you get to just be 100% raw and honest and process. And you don't need to do that with each other. In fact, it can be really damaging to each other to try to process with each other. I know that Nick and I tried to process together and we ended up hurting each other, and it was unintentional and really unnecessary. So if you can each have your own therapist, great. That's ideal. If that's not possible, it needs to at least be someone who is educated, right? Who knows what it means when someone is transgender, and who has some awareness of what that kind of landscape is like. And it's probably best if it's not a friend, because friends love you and they care, and that makes them concerned, and it makes them very invested in what happens to each one of you individually and what happens to you as a couple. So it's so important that you find a place, a person. It could be one person, it could be some kind of support group. Again, if you can find a therapist, do that. That's going to be so helpful to both of you. But you need a place where you get to have your own experience. And probably what your partner is looking for from you more than anything else is an immediate confirmation that you love them, you accept them, you support them. And you can give them that 1,000,000% and still have questions, and still be scared, and still want to go off and do your own research, and have 1,000,000 questions that you don't even know where to start with. So don't feel like the only way you can show support for your partner is to 100% immediately be like, great, that's fine. I have no feelings about this. We'll just carry on. That's unrealistic. And one of the things that I found when Nick came out as transgender was that the narratives were very extreme. And this is partly why we made our documentary, Just Another Beautiful Family, because we were looking for stories that were a little bit more nuanced. Because life is complicated, right? Nothing is ever black and white. And the narratives that I found were very extreme. One was, we're talking about people transitioning from female to male, for example. Your partner, once they start testosterone, will become a completely different person. They'll be an animal. They're going to screw everything that's in sight. Your relationship is over. That was one narrative. Then the other narrative was, there's no difference whatsoever. They're exactly the same person. The hormones really have very little effect at all. There's no changes. Well, both of these scenarios were so extreme and kind of ridiculous, right? Life is a little bit more complicated than that. And for sure, our experience has been somewhere in the middle. Nick is both the same person and not the same person, right? He is still the person I love, and yet so many things about him have changed, both on a physical level and in terms of how we relate as a couple and how we relate together with the outside world. So I just want to encourage you that you're going to feel a lot of pressure. I don't know, I felt a lot of pressure to immediately know a bunch of things I didn't know because I just didn't know what I didn't know, and B, not really have any feelings about it. And I think there was a third one, but I forgot it. So I felt a lot of pressure. That was not helpful. If I had actually just given myself a little bit more space and time to educate myself, to process, I actually think that the whole thing would have flowed more quickly and smoothly and easily. All right, you know how they say what we resist persists? I know it's cheesy, but the more you try to like push yourself to have a certain response, probably the more you're going to resist it. So give yourself room and space for your feelings. Again, you do not need to do this with your partner. Don't. In fact, it's probably not going to be helpful to either of you. But make sure you find people who know what they're talking about. There's a lot of fear. There's so much fear around people who are transgender. And I was afraid when Nick first told me because I just didn't know. I was so ignorant. And it turns out most of the things I was afraid of were just nothing. They were just fears. And then, of course, we have ended up facing challenges that I didn't even know to worry about. So I guess I'm just saying, let yourself have a human experience. You can love and support your partner, and you can show them that unequivocally, and still create space for you to have your own experience. All right, so I hope that that's helpful. Let me know what your questions are. I'm happy to start making more of these videos, especially for you partners, because I do think that it's this experience that isn't really talked about a lot, but you are really important people in your partner's lives. You are support people. You end up doing a lot of the educating for the community around you. So let me know what your questions are. We are at Beautiful Families Project here on YouTube. Subscribe wherever that is. We're Beautiful Families Project on Facebook, Instagram, all the things. So come find us, follow, like, subscribe, do all the things. And if you have specific questions, let me know and I will make more videos for you.